Hello, welcome. Another today's Decay. We're celebrating births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. It is January 18th, and here are all the dates that really rate. 1877 today, Karl Hans Strobel was born, and Strobel was Strobel. That's a stretch. Here is his recently translated book, Lemuria. I love that artwork. I mean, this is a modern creation, but it's based off the original World War I era, maybe earlier, 1911, something like that. I could have sworn I had a copy, but I don't see it. Maybe not. Anyway, Karl Hans Strobel is problematic. I don't use that regularly as a term, but yeah, works in this case. He was one of the masters of dark fantasy and weird tales in like 1910. His friend Hans-Hein Evers, colleague, whatever, together they published The Orchid Garden, which was the first ever weird fiction magazine. Weird Tales comes out in 1923, but The Orchid Garden comes out in 1919 and runs for, I don't know, 3 years, 2 or 3 years, something like that. And here is a bound collection of the entire first year. This thing is beautiful. Look at this. I'm gonna try my hardest to be very careful. Look at this cover. It's just like one insane thing after another here. What they are reproducing are some modern weird tales by modern writers such as himself, Karl Hans Strobel, Hans-Hein Evers, but then lots of German translations of like Edgar Allan Poe and other pre-existing weird fiction stuff, including a lot of engravings from many years ago. I mean, all of this artwork here is beautiful stuff. Again, these colors. And what I've seen, look at that one. I mean, this is just an advertisement for God knows what. The whole damn thing. Yeah, there's I think 3 of these collections, which are not so easy to come by. And it smells really good. Look at this one. I could just spend like all night on this. All night on this. Wild, right? And sometimes people tell me I should go on TikTok, and I could probably quit my day job and like do just this kind of thing on TikTok. I don't understand. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. You have 60 seconds or less to do whatever you're gonna write about or talk about. I barely. We've only just begun. Look at this. Oh. The whole damn book. From cover to cover. Awesome stuff. That was by Klee. This is all in German, mind you. I do have an English translation of the first copy that I think somebody in England made, which is cool. But like from a completist standpoint, do the whole damn thing, please. Otherwise, I may be forced to do it, and I don't know German. And look at this. So yeah, so he was the publisher. He was the editor of the whole series, and was way ahead of his time. So this is like 1919, like I was saying, but he was writing as early as like 1905, maybe. Same with Hans-Hein Evers. They're definitely, you know, contributed to each other's work and I'd say mutually inspired each other. So this one guy, Joe Bandel, I believe, has made like his life's work into translating Hans-Hein Evers, which Sidereal Press issued, and then separately he did this Lemuria, book 1, and there's supposed to be a second one coming out at some point. I'm ready, Joe. Publish a second one. It is some really intense stuff. I loved it. We read this one, what was it called? The Head, I think? I forget the title now, but it was like set in the French Revolution, and all from the perspective of this, I guess, aristocrat who is about to be beheaded, and then is beheaded, and still like the somehow conscious head is able to like sit there in this pit and like watch others around him bleed out as he's also bleeding out. It was really gruesome and shocking in what it was covering, to the point that it's so fascinating that fast forward 25 years, and both Strobel and Evers become members of the Nazi Party in like the mid-30s. Now, part of it may have been, there's just like tons of these like really great skeleton things in here. Part of it might be they were interested in ancient occult rituals and medieval, or rather Teutonic romanticism, you know, those aspects of the early Nazi movement. More here. I don't know. I'm not going to go and make excuses for him. The nice part about Hans-Hein Evers, who did like The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Alruna, Vampire, a couple others. He was gay or bisexual, and all of his work was deemed as subhuman, or whatever the exact term was, I forget now, that the Nazis like burned as much of his writings as possible, and he died penniless at a relatively young age, in I think the mid-30s or something like that. Hans-Hein Strobel, on the other hand, in comparison, wound up becoming like a high-ranking Nazi officer and was like definitely an evil person. But in 1905, he was writing some really great weird fiction that doesn't have any hint of where the world, or where he was going in the world. Look at this one. I don't know if you can make this out fully, but I don't know. I mean, do you just erase the great work that was done previously by people because of their clear and certain mistakes they made later in life? I don't know. I'm looking for this one here. I ain't finding. Oh, here we go. I mean, this is like just iconic, right? Can't help it. Love it. Yeah. So, meanwhile, I would definitely suggest reading. I'm gonna take a look at this one again. I think it was The Head. Is that right? I know it's available online somewhere. Yeah, The Head. Page 61. Hans-Hein Strobel is a master of dark fantasy. He also has written humor, mystery, and nonfiction books. There is a vitality and power to his writing that I have seldom seen in other authors. These stories have truly been a pleasure to translate. He was one of Germany and Austria's most popular authors and enjoyed lifelong success. Embittered by how Austria and Germany were treated after World War I, He became an avid nationalist and supporter of the Nazi movement. It was for this reason that none of his earlier work has ever been translated. All of his works were banned by the Allies for several years after World War II. This is the first time any of his works have been translated into English except for 2 short stories used in anthologies. Lemuria was one of his most popular books, and in my opinion is an important literary achievement. This is the first of 2 books that collected these stories of dark fantasy. Enjoy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really liked it. Gotta tell you. Claire Winger Harris, born today, 1891, really early science fiction writer at a time when females weren't writing so much science fiction, and it was definitely a like closed door old boys club. Here's somebody who just did whatever the hell she wanted, and that's good. Well done, Claire Winger Harris. Albert Nutzel, born today, 1901, the original Famous Monsters magazine cover artist. So covers like, you know, all preceding Basil Gogos, which I think there was like 8. This is number 7. He did like the first approximate 10 covers after the first 2 photo covers. This one here, that's a Nutzel. Yeah. What else? Martin Goodman, born today, 1908, who was the publisher of Timely Comics that became Marvel Comics that we all know and love. And those early Timely Comics, the ones that are like Marvel Comics #1, where it's the original Human Torch versus Submariner over the skies of Art Deco New York City, just, you know, derailing subway cars, and lots of really great monsters, castles, creatures, monsters and creatures in castles. Oh my. Yeah, anyway, terrific stuff. And last but certainly not least, 1963, on this day, Shock Theater with Ghoulardi premiered. That was Ghoulardi's first foray into TV broadcasting. He was so popular, though, that he wound up doing 3 different shows, 2 of which aired at the same time. Like, one was like a Friday night, and one was a Saturday afternoon or something like that. But this is the one where it's like just his face in darkness, like underlit, with no set or anything like that, and him just going off whatever the hell he feels like talking about. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Anyway, that's it, the whole day. See, 60 seconds? This was like 13 minutes. I can't do it. I'm never going to quit my day job. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.